They arrived quietly, without banners, without speeches, without anyone waiting to welcome them. The truck slowed, then stopped, and for a moment no one moved. Inside, the women sat shoulder to shoulder, hands folded, eyes fixed on the wooden slats in front of them, as if looking anywhere else might invite something worse. Weeks earlier, they had crossed an ocean they were told they would never survive. Then came trains, heat, dust, unfamiliar skies. By the time the gates opened, exhaustion had dulled even fear. What struck them first was not anger or shouting, but order. Guards stood in place, not rushing, not screaming. Instructions came through a translator, calm and procedural. Rules, schedules, where to sleep, where to work. Nothing more, nothing less. It felt wrong somehow. They had been taught to expect cruelty, to brace for humiliation. Instead, they were processed like people. That night, lying on narrow bunks beneath thin blankets, the women whispered to one another in the dark. Some clutched photographs folded so many times the edges were soft. Others stared upward, replaying the last meal they remembered from home. In the final months before capture, food had become a rumor rather than a certainty. Soup stretched thin enough to see the bottom of the pot. Bread divided into pieces so small it felt insulting to call them portions. Hunger had stopped being pain and become a constant background noise, like breathing. Morning brought a bell and a line. Tin plates were handed out one by one. Oatmeal, bread, coffee that barely deserved the name. No one spoke at first. The women ate slowly, deliberately, as if afraid the food might disappear if they moved too quickly. One of them began to cry without sound, tears slipping down into the oatmeal. When asked why, she answered simply that she had not seen this much food on one plate in over a year. The guards noticed something strange over the following days. Crusts of bread hidden in sleeves, potato skins tucked into pockets, food wrapped in cloth and saved, even when there was no reason to believe it would be taken away. This was not greed, it was memory. The body remembering starvation, even when the present suggested otherwise. Then came the announcement, an assembly, a pause. The translator hesitated, as if unsure the words would make sense. In a few days, there would be a holiday. A day, they were told, when families gathered to give thanks. A day defined not by restraint, but by abundance. And on that day, the prisoners would eat the same meal as everyone else in the camp. The reaction was silence, not relief, not excitement, confusion. Why would captors share a celebration with prisoners? Some suspected a performance, something arranged for inspections or paperwork. Others assumed the promise would shrink by the time it reached their plates. Extra bread, perhaps, thicker soup if they were lucky. No one dared imagine more than that. But the smells began before the day itself arrived. Rich, unfamiliar aromas drifting across the compound. Roasting meat, butter, something sweet. The kind of smells that make hunger feel sharper instead of satisfied. At night, the women lay awake, stomachs tight, minds racing between hope and disappointment. When the day finally came, they were led into a hall they barely recognized. Long tables, white cloths, light filling the room, and food, more food than they had seen in years. Not carefully rationed, not guarded like treasure, just there, waiting. Plates were filled generously, without hesitation. Meat sliced thick, potatoes piled high, vegetables glistening, bread placed within easy reach. No one told them to hurry, no one told them to stop. Hands trembled. Some women froze, unsure where to begin. Others broke down completely, shoulders shaking as tears fell onto untouched plates. This was not just a meal, it was the sudden collapse of everything they had been told to believe. That their enemies were monsters, that kindness was weakness, that dignity was something forfeited in war. One woman lifted her fork and cut a small piece of meat, barely larger than a bite meant for a child. She tasted it slowly, closed her eyes. Not because it was delicious, though it was, but because it tasted like being considered human. Around the room, the sounds of eating mixed with quiet sobs. No speeches followed, no demands, just people sharing food, separated by uniforms, united by the simple act of being alive. For some of the women, this moment would stay sharper in memory than the day they were captured, sharper even than the day the war ended, because for the first time in years, hunger was replaced not just by fullness, but by something far more unsettling: doubt. And once doubt takes hold, nothing you were taught remains untouched.